So I asked ChatGPT a question that I think would help a lot of people, and it's about fears and beliefs. So I asked, what are normal fears and beliefs that people have around money and becoming abundant? And what are some affirmations for those? And so one of the fears is if I become successful, I'll lose myself or be judged. And it says that it could be rooted in fear of rejection or loss of self. So, an example would be, what if people hate me? I don't want to seem fake. Another fear is, I'm not good with money. It's hard to manage. A root emotion is like unworthiness or shame, possibly. An example is, I'm not responsible enough. I'll mess it up. And there's a lot of other ones that would come up for that as well. These are just some examples. So another fear is other people are already doing this. So that's rooted in comparison and scarcity, possibly. An example would be, why would anyone listen to me? Another fear belief is being wealthy means I'm greedy or selfish. So that can be rooted in guilt or morality shame. An example would be, I don't want to be that kind of person. And another fear belief is, if I go viral, I won't be safe or people will come for me. So that could be rooted in nervous system overload. An example would be, too much attention feels dangerous. So obviously come up with your own examples, but I think it's really important to note that, like, if these are thoughts that have come up for you, then especially as like content creators or people that are like putting themselves out there in any way or wanting to, it's important to know that these are normal thoughts. And so if many of us are having these normal thoughts, then, and you knowing that, like, hey, just having the exact same thought as me, different life experiences possibly, but okay, maybe that's not my thoughts. Maybe I could question those thoughts. And so maybe I could switch it to something else, even though like your brain will try to, like, if it's been on auto repeat with these thoughts and it sounds like your voice, you could try to come up with affirmations for them. Here are some, 5 that it's given me. So I'm going to read them in case it helps anyone. It is safe for me to be seen, loved, and abundant. And what's important about these affirmations, like, it doesn't say it, but what I do know about like manifesting and abundance is you have to feel into it. Like, really feel how that feels. Maybe it'll take like a minute or 2 minutes, and maybe today won't be as easy, but if you keep doing something, just like anything with practice, like within a few days or a week, like you could just feel like, oh, I felt it for like a few seconds, like this relief, this feeling of abundance. And you could come up with examples of how that can be true. So I often come up with examples in my journals and stuff so that it could really hit that emotional chord for me. So number 2, my voice, energy, and presence are valuable exactly as they are. Number 3, and that doesn't mean like you don't have to do any work on yourself and stuff like that, but you could accept who you are, and that you have something to offer as you are right now as well. And you could still be doing work on yourself, but it doesn't mean that like you're not enough and you have nothing to share. Number 3, there's room for everyone, including me, to thrive. Number 4, I can be both wealthy and deeply aligned with my values. Number 5, money flows easily to me. It says when I create with purpose and joy, but money can flow easily to anyone at any point. So obviously, of course, you want to do it with purpose and joy, but like I would just say, like, money does flow easily. Like, I'm always provided for. And so what I do every day is actually make sure that I like know that like I'm always provided for, and then like examples come up. So at first it might have been like a bit harder to come up with an example, or was one example for like weeks or months, and then my brain started figuring out more. So it's great that like it's come up with these, because these are similar to like types of things that I put in my journal. So I hope this helps, and I hope you know that like you could go back to these fears and beliefs, and like anything that comes up that's like putting you down in any way, question it. If you like, once you start questioning these, if you've ever had anything similar, then you might find it easier perhaps to find other thoughts over time to be like, oh, you know what? That's another thought that actually does not serve me, and I need to be aware of it. And once you become aware of it, you're going to start like you'll want to put like a new affirmation to it. So you want to cancel it out and kind of add like something positive. And so if you do that consciously, then you'll see that like, okay, well, you could kind of like get rid of that, or there could be like another version of that that comes up that is dressed up like something else, but it's similar types of ways of like putting you down. But so anyways, as you're working through that, you're also saying these affirmations. So focusing on affirmations are so good because it's lifting you up. You want to feel this abundance, this feeling of like peace, this feeling of like calmness, this joy. And so as you feel into these affirmations every day, you're kind of like strengthening a muscle, let's say, because like, let's say it's a bit hard the first week or the first few days to feel into some of these affirmations. But even if you're able to come up with like an example for one of them, like let's say that you're always provided for, and like how good that feels to know that like, wow, like, you know what, I really am provided for and the universe does take care of me. And then over time, you doing that every day, that's a lot of good feelings and emotions that you're feeling that you never had before, or if you did, like it wasn't like a consistent thing that could grow like this, that you're consciously growing. So you're consciously building that muscle. And so then you could tap into that at any point. You're like, oh, I can choose to feel these emotions. And it's like a peacefulness, a calmness, a relief. And it's that type of joy, not like a roller coaster up and down type of joy, but it's like a peacefulness. But it might feel like a roller coaster for some for a second because it's so far away from what they usually feel. But essentially, it is like more of a peacefulness, a relief. And maybe other people could explain it better in different ways and how they feel it. But yeah, feeling into it is really important, especially if you're into manifestation and stuff. So anyways, I thought that would help some people because there's enough for everyone and it's good to share. So I hope that helps.